Hello, welcome back to today's episode of 3D Drawing from Model Railway. Today's episode I'm going to continue working on the arm section of the rail handling vehicle, and what I'd like to try and do is get some of these hydraulics. So I'm going to start on this one here, and obviously the mounting point, and we'll see how we get time-wise working the way along with this today. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to draw is this pivot point here on the back of the arm, and which is this photograph here. Now this measurement, which is 142 centimeters, runs from the point that we've got at the top of the arm to the end of this arm here. Okay, so jump into Fusion, we're going to select the arm and we'll be drawing on this side face here. So the measurement we've got is 142 centimeters from the top of this point down to where the pivot arm bracket starts. And obviously looking at this, we've got an offset into the middle slightly. We haven't got a measurement for this, but it looks like it may be an inch and a half. Maybe if we work from the midpoint outwards, it's going to give us a center point that we can work from. So what I'm going to do to start with is select the midplane. I'm going to go from the two faces that we've drawn on the arm so far. That will give us that midplane down the middle of that. And then we can draw a sketch onto that midplane. So I'm going to project on the whole of that face. So the first thing I'm going to look at drawing is this has got a perpendicular straight section to the arm. So if we select a line tool, I'm just going to draw a perpendicular face coming up. And if we look at the measurements, so we've got 13, so 130 mil. If we draw a line along here, and we do 130 divided by 1.8, it's going to give us 0.88 millimeters. And unfortunately, we don't have a dimension at the top here, so we're just going to sort of wing the angle a little bit. And I'm going to bring it up something like this. I think. We draw a line. What I'm going to do here is draw a line across. So that's a perpendicular angle, and then I can snap that component there to that line there. So we've got the height that's going to match. And then we're going to create the arc across the top and use a tangent arc going from there to there. Is that going to give us the right look? No. So let's try 3-point arc. So go there to there. That's going to look better. So it's a bit more tangent there. And what we can potentially do is also tangent that to that, which is not going to like, unfortunately. Unless we maybe, if we constrain these, that might help. 77 mil on there, 77 degrees on there. Give that height there. I'm just using the height that's set to lock it into place. That's already constrained. I don't know if that will tangent out, unfortunately. No, it won't. So what we might have to do is just leave that. You know, it's small enough you're not going to notice, but theoretically it should be a smooth arc all the way around. Okay, so coming from that centre point, we've got 142 mil from this point. So if we dimension from there to there, that should be 1420 divided by 1.8. Yeah, so it works out as 9.59 millimeters, and that's all constrained at that position there, aren't we? And we're just going to get rid of that line in the middle there. see if that's all constrained still. Okay, so I think that's going to be the basic shape of this. So if we select that profile, we can then extrude that. And when we extrude, obviously we're going to go symmetrically. Then we're going to go for 0.4, which gives us a total width of 0.8 millimeters across it. You've still got this little gap, and it looks about similar size to this arm here. So we're going to go for that 0.4, which gives you total width of 0.8. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to hollow out a section in the centre here, where the ram would then obviously slide in between it to come up to the top. So to do that, I'm going to edit the sketch that we've just drawn, and I'm going to draw a line across the bottom, again perpendicular to the base, and I'm going to give that a height between those two of 0.2 millimeters. Okay, so then what I can do is if I open that sketch up down the side here, we can then see that profile. Select it by holding down your left mouse button to drop down, select profile, and if we do extrude and then do symmetrical, we can then cut that out. If we do 0.25, it's going to give us a thickness here of 0.15 millimeters, so quite thin, but we are going to put the base in the middle there, which will come up to this top one. Okay, so I want to do something similar on this arm here, so if we find the sketch for that, which is there, get that sketch, edit it, and then I'm just going to draw a line across here. So using the line tool, define that height from that point to there, 3 millimeters. But the sketch is still open, so if we select, it won't let us do that unfortunately. So again, what we'll do is we can use the mid plane that we've just drawn here to create a sketch on. We can project on that arc, that line, and that line. Finish that sketch, and then select those profiles. Extrude. No, that's not worked. Hold down the mouse button, select that profile in there, that's what I'm after. Extrude and symmetrical, and do 0.25, which is going to match the other one. That's going to give us the midpoint of that, which hopefully that should give us the same things here. Close enough. Okay, with regards to drawing the actual rams themselves, unfortunately I don't have any measurements for the rams here or here, but I do have measurements for the circumference of these two parts, the main body and the little ram itself, for this one. Now we could look at these and say, looking and assuming these look similar sort of circumferences, we can use those measurements to transpose onto these ones. I know it's a bit of a fudge, but it's going to work around what we're trying to achieve. The first thing I'll draw is the bracket that sits in between the bracket here. So I'm going to draw on this one here, and let's create a sketch on the mid-plane. We should stop rotating like that. Draw a line which goes, let's find, in fact, project on that, and project on that, and then we'll draw a line which goes from the midpoint to the midpoint. I'm going to create that as a construction line to work from. Okay, so next we're going to use 3-point rectangle, and we'll set this perpendicular to that line. Thickness, let's go for 0.75 millimeters to start with. That's probably too big. Probably too big, so we'll reduce that down to 0.6. Okay, we'll put the midpoint of this line onto that one. It's not what I want to do. Let's dimension there to that midpoint then as 0.45, and then we can do midpoint of that line onto that. Not going to work like that. Okay, let's do the other way. We'll do dimension there to that line. That's already done it. That's fine. Okay, and we're going to tangent arc this round on the end here. So if we do, see if we can get the midpoint of that line. No, we can't. So we'll do point here, find the midpoint, and then we'll do the arc. Tangent arc, something like it. Okay, let's do it another way. Let's do fillet there. 3 millimeters, and then we'll do a similar fillet on the other side of 0.3 millimeters. That should round that end off. Can I make it? Let's go a little bit wide, so let's go 0.7. That'd be 0.35. That's better, I think. Why is that done that? Okay, let's do it again. So 0.7. 0.35. What I'm going to do is create the dimension there, 0.9. I'm going to fillet this off in a second afterwards, I think. So if we now select everything in that profile, extrude that symmetrically inside of there, put join. And then, no, that's not working either. Let's undo that. Okay, so we'll fillet it at this point. 5. that's worked. Same radius here, so that's just sort of hidden that in there. Okay, and do we have a similar sort of bracket here? No, we've got a much smaller one, so we have to do that slightly differently. That's going to be a circle with a. Let's have a look at that in a minute. Okay, so next thing I want to do is on this profile here. I'm going to create a sketch there. Spun it around too. I'm going to put a circle on the mid. Drag that out, and if we look at the pictures, we can find the one that's got the circumference on. So what we got, unfortunately, very unreadable. 30 to 38 minus 2, 36 mil circumference. I'm rubbish with math, that's going to give us the diameter. I'm sure there's somebody out there who could map this up for us, but I don't know it. So I'm going to go with what it looks like. I'm going to go millimeter. I'm going to extrude that. I'm going to go about 2.1 millimeters. And then going to make a bigger circle in front of that. So 1.3 mil. I'm going 0.4 millimeters in length there. I might reduce these down. Edit that sketch. Let's go reduce that down to 8 mil. So let's reduce that first one to 0.8. And we'll reduce the outer one to 1 mil. That's a little bit, looks a little better for me. Okay, so the next thing is to draw the bracket in here. See, it's circular on the end here. We've got another circular shape here. It's going to be a bit of a nightmare to merge those two and have a circle that way merge into a circle. Otherwise, I'm just going to fudge it a little bit again. Again, we're going to create a sketch on that mid-plane. Excuse me, I have to keep rotating this. I don't know why Fusion's decided to start doing this. And rotate it, not look at how you want it to. So, project all of that arm on. Use a circle here. Let's go for 0.6 millimeters in diameter. And I'm going to again draw a line from, to project. I'm just going to go with a bit of a rectangle. Oops. Again, we need to try and make sure it's perpendicular to the construction line. Actually, a little bit smaller than that. And then I'm going to draw a line that's going to go and connect tangently to that. So if you select the point on the rectangle and then come across to the circle, as you go around it, you get the tangent symbol come up. Just select when you get to that, and it will make it sort of a tangent shape with the arc there. It's got to be there. 0.3mm on thickness. And we'll do a dimension from that ring, 0.5. Okay, now we can select these profiles. Now we've got that profile, we can do an extrusion, symmetrically take it to the edge, we can join, hopefully we've been joining these. Yes. If we now get a sketch on that inside face, again this fusion is spinning around, hiding stuff. Find the midpoint. I'm going to go for 0.4mm circle. That will then give us the circle that we can extrude. And extrude that to that surface there. What I might actually do is just edit this, make that maybe 0.15, so half that, 0.65 on there, just to move everything up so this centre bit becomes a little bit longer. What I'm going to try here is see how it works. If we fill it off this edge to 0.25 radius, and then 0.25. We do the same with all of these. Do 0.25, change that one to 0.24 as well. Okay, so that's sort of made that look how the original has. It's a bit fudged a little bit, but it's gone from that circle in this direction down to a circle in that direction. I actually quite like the look of that. I'm going to go with that. I like that. Okay, so the next thing is there's a couple of, obviously, the pins that come through here. Again, we'll create a construction on our mid plane. Let's do a circle, selecting project on here again at midpoint. Select circle, go for 0.3 mil. Get that profile, extrude it symmetrically. It's just coming through by 0.1 millimeter. Tell it to join. So we're doing a total extrusion of 0.5 millimeters from that mid-plane symmetrically, which will stick it out. That gives that mounting point. And we're going to want to do, I'd imagine, something similar on the other end. Find the picture. Yes. Again, construction on mid-plane 2. Projecting on that shape. And the circle, go on midpoint, do 0.3. Profile, extrude symmetrically. And join. Zoom out. There we go. You can see that. Sketch turned off there. Okay, so I'm going to end the video there. Probably up to about 25 minutes or so there, just to draw that hydraulic ram there. But that's now obviously that detail drawn in. I think it looks reasonably okay compared to the prototype. Yeah, that should be okay thing to follow along with. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and please like and subscribe if you want more content.